moving from Vegas, you realize, local boy, did you get those hunger pains for home?
Never. It never occurred to me that I was coming back home. You know why? I was so proud. I was a very proud Hawaiian. I always said, wherever I was, they asked me, who are you and what are you? First thing I ever said, I'm a Hawaiian. A very proud Hawaiian. But I didn't think there was a market for me in Hawaii.
No,
not with what I did.
People back home know, hey, Jimmy is doing great, he's up there. Did you go home? And
They hadn't a clue. They didn't know what a Borges, not a clue. The first time anybody in Hawaii ever heard about me was when Ben Wood wrote about me, I think in like '68 when I was on the Jonathan Winters TV show, national show. And I was on a show. And he said, and now direct from Hawaii, Jimmy Borges. And then I sang on that show. And Ben Wood wrote to the show, says, who's this guy, Jimmy Borges? We never heard of him. And that's how they found out about me. So Ben was the first one that wrote about me in like 1968.
So did you make any journeys back home in between your Vegas gigs?
Well, my journeys back home, in between I had gone to South America, New York, Rio de Janeiro, all these wonderful, wonderful places plying my trade, and I was doing very well in the mainland. I had an opportunity from a booker that said, you want to work with, first of all, it was George Goebel, and then Sarah Vaughan, and then Mavis Rivers. Mavis was Matt Kattengoob's mother, right? She was a great jazz singer from Samoa. So I worked with all of them on cruises throughout the islands. And that's how I got back home. I came back home starting in '68, working with George Goebel, then Sarah Vaughan.
On the boats?
On the boats, yeah. We would do shows on the boats.
So what, you got off the boat one day and you never got back on?
Well, the people came to see me, and the booker, a guy came to see me on the ship and asked me if I would like to stay in Hawaii for a few months and work at the Knight's Palace in Kalihi. And I said, sure, why not? It's an extended vacation, and it's paid for. And my wife at that time and my daughter and thought it would be great, and so we did. And that 3 months turned into another to 6 months somewhere else. People, Chris Hemmeter became and he became a very strong supporter of me. Wherever he put up a place, he would like to have me work with him, and Ed Sullivan, who used to run the Hyatt. And so I had these different people who were my supporters keeping me in Hawaii.
The 60s, though, the late 60s, man, it was rough and tumble. I mean, there was rock and roll, it was, pop music, it was Elvis Presley on and Wayne, maybe, and the Rolling Stones were kicking butt, heavy metal stuff. Where did jazz come into this?
I had a niche. First of all, I never considered myself a jazz singer. I consider myself a pop singer with jazz orientation. I really still don't. I'm not a jazz singer. I'm a pop singer who's jazz oriented. But there's a niche. I call them the cognoscenti. For lack of a better word, because they're the 2%, right? This is 2% who like the only American art form. Jazz is the only American art form. Everything else is European or somewhere else. And so these are the people that like the kind of music, and they supported me all these years. Yeah. There was a support foundation.
You did, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there was this club in Quixotes.
Oh, I loved it.
That was the hottest banging spot in the
My favorite
hours of the morning.
story about that place is that Frank Sinatra tried to get in and he couldn't. It was too crowded. He came in with Jilly. He drove up from, he was at Canlis, and he drove up in the front, and he said,
he knew that you were playing there?
Yeah, so let's go see the kid. And so Jilly walks in, and the place is jam-packed like this, and it's like that all the time. And so Jilly walks out. The guy in front, the guy who parks the cars told me, he walked in and said, hey, Frank, too many people, let's go. And so they went, they left. I would have given him my seat. Frank could have sat where I was sitting on the stool. But so he came to see me over there, but it was too crowded.
What was Quixotes? I mean, what was that energy like in there? I mean,
it was a bar. It was a boîte. It was like a French nightclub. This little black, dark place with smoke going, There was so much smoke.
Jimmy held court.
Yeah,
right there.
Had a piano player, bass, and drummer.
That was it.
And if there was so much smoke that if you seated it would rain. It was great, and all these gorgeous people. There was beautiful people there, and everybody who was anybody came there too, just like trappers. Diana Ross would be sitting off in the car, and said, "Danny, I want to sing." And she'd go, "Oh no," stuff like that. Nice. They just came to be seen or to dig what we were doing, and we did that till 4 o'clock in the morning.
That was a.
It was really fun.
And you know, and the crowd.
It was creative.
You're absolutely right. The people in there were all very creative and very, upstanding people. There was no rough and tumble fights outside the.
No, we didn't have that. No,
it was never.
We really didn't.
And it was in the heart of Waikiki too, which was just extraordinary. Betty Lou Trio. Did you know Betty around those times? When did you?
I got her. The first time I heard Betty play, she was working at some other club, and I heard this piano player. And I'm a piano freak. To be good, you need a piano player that, as you know, you need all these big, fat, wonderful chords that allow you to sing on top of it. You know, if you play the wrong chords, you're locked into the chord that they play. But Betty played chords that gave me options. I had 20 options of notes to take from because of the way she played. I heard her play and I said, someday I want to work with her. I asked her, but I couldn't offer her enough money the first time I asked her. Eventually, I finally got her to work with me, and for 33 years.
Magic.
33 years we've been together. We called each other, she's old fart number 1, I'm old fart number 2.
And she's feisty, isn't she?
Oh.
She'll jump in your face.
We used to fight. We just got into each other's face. But I love that about her because that's why she was as good as she was.
Yeah.
She had her own thoughts.